All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. As you can see by the title, is using the kids, you know, to destroy the legacy. And a lot of this goes on in our community, and it's going on for a very long time, and it's going on in a myriad of different ways. And we only think of, maybe we only speak about one or two, you know, using the kids. So, we talk about using the kids against the father, parental alienation. And one of the things about it is that children are a good scapegoat for destroying a legacy. They're a very good scapegoat because they may be accomplices, but they don't know what they're actually doing until they become probably adults, parents, and sometimes even, grown, and have children of their own or have grandchildren and they realize it. But this constant thing where we're using kids to destroy the legacy has become a norm, and it's become baked into the community, baked into the culture. And I find it interesting. Shout out to BGS for reading the article earlier today about the how college recruiting is done primarily through mothers, matriarchs of the family, a way they want the kids to go, and this, that, and the third. And we've heard it for years about, the kids being leveraged with their mothers and their mother situation. But we don't take into consideration what pressure we're putting on all these kids, because they're, driven by something that they probably wouldn't be driven by if it wasn't for manipulation. So first and foremost, we talk about the financial situation in the Black community, right? And we talk about the amount of money that our community puts into the American GDP, gross product. Right? You know what the GDP stands for. But the problem is we don't talk about how we spend the money and use the money for our children's development, and we use them as an excuse to destroy the legacy. See, if I buy you clothes, toys, maybe pay for you to go to the movies from time to time, knowing you might need more money for school or college, and I leverage this situation to get money into my own pockets, using like the tax break every year, till like 16, you get a tax break. If you're using a tax break on everything but the kid, right? So you're using them as a form of income while you're also teaching them to tear down the very type of family structure that they're going to need. So now you got these kids out here, they believing that they were being raised properly by their parents, when in essence, they were somebody. How can I say this properly? You were an object that was out to be leased. Predominantly, a lot of your mothers leased you out, with an option to buy that nobody ever took. So you were leased for 18 years, possibly, And in that 18 years, you was taught a lot of disrespect. What's up, Calvin? Taught a lot of disrespect. And in that disrespect, you were also taught to destroy the very things as far as a legacy that you might need in the future. Because, it ain't real if how can I say this? If your mother didn't co-sign who it came from, no, it ain't just blaming women, Monica. This is the whole community. But you got to start somewhere. I know you don't like that. If some of you ladies don't like it when women are brought to task because they're angels. But we're in this situation where when they co-sign it, this person can help. But if this person helps, they don't want the help. So it's a problem. It's a big problem. Because now these kids have no legacy. Now these kids have no inheritance. And what I mean by that is, what we have is a situation where, CEO, what's popping? Where our grandparents passed wealth down to our parents. And our parents inherited things for our grandparents for the most part. See, we don't talk about that part. Whether it's property, life insurance policy, we talk about all the people in the community who you have to have a GoFundMe for, but we don't talk about all the people who left you a house or multiple homes. Or when they died, they actually had a retirement plan that went over to you. We don't talk about those people who are normally the majority of our grandparents. And then our parents wind up getting money, and what they don't do, a lot of these parents don't have. A lot of parents in my parents' generation, they don't have life insurance. They don't have property to pass down. They don't have any retirement. They don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because some of them blew the money, but some of those people wound up spending their money taking care of their kids. So they got leveraged onto granddad and grandmother's dime. So now, if grandparents die broke, then it's a problem, because now they don't leave the parents anything, who in turn are gonna not leave you and the kids anything out of spite. You see Uncle Sam? So this is where we at. People don't want to bring that part up, but you use these kids to destroy the legacy. See, some of these kids are not put in a position where they feel like they gotta fend for themselves when they're children. Why is that? And then if they gotta fend for themselves while they're children, it's nothing you could do for them, because them having to fend for themselves means you don't want to do anything for them. Because see, we don't talk about the people who they spent their adult life, when they were supposed to be raising their child, putting everything in front of their child. So now this child becomes bitter unto the point that, if you leave them something, they're going to destroy it. Because it didn't look like you was putting in work for them in the first place. They were an afterthought. Then we got to go to the aspect of what is the legacy? Because the irony of it is, in some people's eye, we're starting from ground zero every generation. So if we feel like in the last 30, 40 years, each generation has started from ground zero, what's the only consistent thing in this? To me, it was the kids. New kids, same situation. Because people don't want to say this, but this idea that, the children are going to, the youth are gonna raise the community from the ashes. The youth are gonna do it. We're gonna depend on the youth. If you got to depend on the youth to raise up the community, that means the elders have failed horribly because they're old and they're telling you, you need to do it because I didn't. What's up, Mike? What's up, kid? So now we don't want to talk about this fact where you got a lot of, even older men who don't who spent their life not trying to teach the younger generation anything that could actually make them a productive citizen in society. See, that part people forget. Even the older guys, when you was a teenager and they was in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, when you was a young adult, when they was in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, they was chasing skirts. Now, ironically, the irony of it is they would chase skirts and give the girls a game and look at the boys as competition and try to throw them under the bus. And truth is, part of that stepdaddy thing, that's a negative aspect, is that people don't want to raise other people's kids. But the other aspect is there were guys who use that as leverage to take advantage of a single mom and drain her pockets because she was lonely, and use the mentor as the card to do it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get that, Mike. So it's a problem. It's a problem. So now we're growing, and you're seeing things. I'm loving to see the things on social media where you have these parents, buying property for their kids, or like the new viral one was the family made the kid a barbershop in the backyard. That's building somebody up. But we've seen the opposite for so many decades. That's where we're at. Teaching a kid to hate one side of the family and try to use them and play them. Use them and play them. You know what? I could get some money out of grandma and granddad. Yeah. I don't really like them because I don't like my daddy like that because that's what they taught me, that he was no good. So what I'm finna do is I'm finna go over here and I'm gonna rob the joint. Yeah, I'm taking all the silverware and everything. Oh yeah. And then when these family members die and they say, you know what? I'm not doing nothing for you. I'm not doing nothing for you. Yeah, that happens, CEO. I'm not doing nothing. Because when you were a teenager, a young adult, you was playing this get back game and you made yourself, you didn't make yourself family. You made yourself an adversary. What's up, Paul? That's a good point. That's a good point. So now we at this point in life where people don't want to admit something that's just right in front of our face. Because when they say these kids out here wilding, they didn't just start wilding out of the blue. Seti, what's popping, fam? No, brothers are not telling their kids to hate their mama. No. But I'm not just talking about fathers and mothers using the kids. I'm talking about the family using the kids. I'm talking about the players coming to use the kids. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about the guys in the streets who's supposed to be a family, right? That they used to use that old dumb line, like the streets was like more of a family than a family. Now you get this kid locked up. You got nobody to pass on the legacy to. If they doing life, if they doing football numbers, you got to go to the next, right? And hopefully you have a next. You've got a lot of these kids, families, and wind up, then die like that. They died like that. They died off because of this. This idea, what's up, James? This idea that, you know, we believe the children are the future. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. We're not doing that. That's what we're not doing. Because we're not really investing in their legacy because we don't feel like we have to give them anything. And I think about this all the time when I think about, you know, parents in a sense. If you got multiple cars, you won't give your child a car. You got two, three, four cars over all the years. You got one kid or two kids. Your kid needs a car, but you won't give it to him. You got to get your own. So they got to get their own car. You don't have one for it, but you got, from old to new, you got them. Okay. Then we're gonna play this game as if, hold up, I got you, I got you. So now we're gonna play this game as if all this stuff doesn't happen over and over again. Man, this ain't nobody trolling. What Monica's over here. If y'all think Monica trolling, let her talk. It's not a big deal. You know, it's not a big deal. Because this ain't about this is about the kids per se. You know, this is about the kids. Because the kids wind up getting used. Because when these kids turn 18 and and the child support payments are over, what do they have to show for it? When these kids turn 30 and the parents die or they're dying, the kids are in some ways looked at as to help take care of the parents. And this is why we keep starting over, because the kids are looked at as the next generation who can do it all. Not only, when I was a teenager, they called us super predators, but basically we're supposed to be superhuman beings. We're supposed to make the most with the least and give what we have to the generations prior to us who didn't give us anything or gave us a bare minimum. A bare minimum. And at the same time, we don't want to have this discussion about, well, who's using these kids like this as weapons against their own futures? Kids smart, but if the kid's smart, you got one side of the family that wants the kids to get a better education. You got another side of the family that doesn't. That's a problem. That's a major problem. When kids are going to college, you know, and the student loan debt that we see that keeps rising and rising, part of it is from the fact that we spent a lot of money on ourselves instead of our kids. There was no money to help the kids. That baby, they need to get a scholarship so they can go to college. That's been going on since I was a kid. Since I was an 80, in the 80s, that's been going on. And college wasn't that expensive in the 80s as it is now. So it's the same excuse. Matter of fact, the thing about this situation, why I use Tyreek, and it's the same way kind of what I think about when I used to watch when I watched Snowfall. Tyreek was used as a weapon to kill his father. But his father said, you can't get no money until you graduate college. By the way he's going, he'll never get that money. You know what I'm saying? He'll never get that money. He'll never graduate because he's always in the streets. But on the same time, when I looked at Snowfall, the mother and the father of Franklin, they were all in for him making money so they could have a better life. But they didn't really want They didn't really want none of the problems that went with it. You got an 18, 19, 20-year old setting the whole family up and just using it as a television reference in a sense. And that kid destroyed, he basically destroyed the family legacy because the family in itself was just BSing, running around doing whatever they wanted to do. But we want to play this game like this don't exist. Like, I'm thinking about it because it's the holiday season. How many of these kids are getting rewarded for bad behavior that when they turn 18, 19, we're going to be like, look, I already did that for you. I'm done. You know what? When you was cutting up, I was giving you stuff. So I'm done with you. People use you as a weapon against me. I'm washing my hands with you because all you know how to do is be an enemy. So guess what? You destroy the legacy. And this comes from having an actual talk with my father also. This comes from, my father was like, he wanted to buy a house and fix it up and pass it down, but before he passed away. And I had to have the conversation with him. I was like, look, I got two brothers. So I was like, whatever you do, you better think it out, because if you die and you give the house to somebody what if somebody doesn't really like you at the time? And they just gonna destroy the house because they don't like you. And see, I had to go back to this idea that when you hear a lot of family members, and I hear this inside my family and outside of my family, when you got people in their 50s to 60s who would be my, parents, aunts, and uncles who've inherited homes, but they never wanted to pay the taxes on them because, they were spoiled. And since they were spoiled and they never had to pay for anything, they use their kids as an excuse why they lost the house. I had to take care of you. I had to take care of this. I had to take care of that. When people watch the movie Baby Boy, he said, this ain't your house, this Big Mama house. That's a problem. That's still a problem to this day, but people lose Big Mama's house. They lose the house. You know what I'm saying? So now what we gonna do? You losing these homes. The kids are inheriting nothing because we're teaching them bad habits. And now I was born in 79, but I was a kid in the 80s. And I remember vividly how, because of the drug era, it was nothing to have, to try to introduce a kid to drugs at an early age. First it was alcohol, then it was weed. It wasn't cocaine. Alcohol and weed were the primary two. And then these kids grow up to be drug addicts or drug dealers. You said most rappers come from a two-parent home. Name them. Name them. Most rappers and athletes most entertainers don't come from a two-parent home. There are exceptions to the rule, but most of them don't. And the further we get past 2020, when you look back to the 80s, you're going to see less and less and less and less and less of that. It was, Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker and all of them came from single-parent homes. Pop. Yeah, Pop Smoke had two parents. Okay. How many Pops? Okay, you got one. You got one, Mike. Keep going. Keep going. Because if you give me 10, I can give you 20. That didn't. And rappers ain't a big majority population in Black America in the first place. But we shall agree to disagree at this point. This becomes a problem. Lil John came from a two-parent home, but he was surrounded by people who didn't. You come back. But this is what we had in the community that we don't want to talk about. See, these kids are a problem. Are they? Are they really? Are they really? Think about that. Like I said, Michael Jordan came from a two-parent home. Michael Jordan in his 60s. And think about that. Think about that. Did Charles Barkley? Think about all the people in that era. Did Karl Malone? I could think of two: Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller. Did Shawn Kemp? We can go on and on and on. And even with them, we don't look at it in the way of, we're trying to have a kid to grow up a superstar to save us as parents. And why I'm saying using kids to destroy the legacy, because, even with these family curses, you want the kids to break the curse, but you don't want to break it. You want the kids to get you out of poverty, but you don't want to get the kids out of poverty. See, some of these kids who grew up to be adults and even entertainers and athletes, you know what I'm saying? Well, what's up, Smoke? Hey, I feel you. Kid Gravity, Austin Rivers. Okay. You got Austin Rivers. I got LeBron. I got KD. Rose. Probably the last 10 MVPs of the NBA came from single parent homes. Think about it. Yep, take that back. Steph Curry didn't. You got Austin Rivers and Steph Curry. Everybody else, no, I take that back. You got Austin Rivers, Steph Curry, and Russell Westbrook. Giannis, no. James Harden, no. KD, no. LeBron, no. D Rose, no. Who am I missing? Dame Lillard, no. Carmelo, no. Think about it. Give me your top. See, when we do this, give me your top 5, top 10 two-parent household celebrities against my top 5 single-parent celebrities, and I bet you it's a blowout. Because single-parent households are the dominant, are dominant in number. So it is what it is. This is where we're at in life. So it's a problem. Beyonce, there you go, Mike. What about the other 1, 2, 3, 4? What about the other 5 Destiny's Children? You never asked that question? There's a group that started with 4 people. They got rid of, and added 2. What about the other 5? Will Smith. I'm glad y'all keep naming these names. We got Pop Smoke and Will Smith. Can I say 50 Cent? Can I say Jay-Z? Can I say Drake? Can I say Kendrick Lamar? Can I say Lil Wayne? You see what I'm saying? We keep going all day. Can I say Outkast? Can I say T.I.? Can I say Diddy? Can I say Biggie? Can I say Pop? I can go from now to back then. But we're using the kids to destroy the legacy. They're just in the way. Nick Cannon, Nas, Nas, yeah and no, if you remember, because Nas' dad took him out of school when they was like in the 6th or 7th grade. Their parents got into it about that. I don't think y'all realize that Nas. I don't think Nas even did a year of high school. Would that work for anybody in general? In general, you got a kid and your kid turned 14 and you take his ass. You don't need to go to high school, boy. Come on with me. Just, eh. You said Michael Jackson and Prince. Yeah, Michael Jackson and Prince. Now let's go to the rest of R&B. Let's do it. Because before them, probably you had to go all to Marvin Gaye. Pretty much everybody else didn't grow up like that. But this is where we at with it. We using the kids to destroy the legacy. Because if I think about this correctly, what about all of these celebrities that we're bringing up right now? Trey Songz did not grow up with both parents. Okay. Chris Brown, I think he had a stepdaddy and they got divorced. Come on now. Usher, single parent, right? R. Kelly, we ain't got to talk about that, right? Like, James Brown, we ain't got to talk about that, right? This is where we at with it. This idea that everybody's living this LaMelo Ball. Ooh. LaMelo and Lonzo and Jello. Now, since you want to do that, the other 59 people who got drafted, how many of them came from a two-parent home? He said, see, I could fix all the problems. He said, Obama, mic drop. This is a problem. Because all of these, the kids, here's what I'm saying. The kids from these two-parent households, they're not looked at as a person to save the next generation or to save the generations prior. They're looked at as people who are going to expand the legacy and make it bigger. This is where we're at with a lot of the kids. We don't look at the kids to expand anything to make it bigger because we're not giving them anything to make bigger. We don't have an empire for them to grow. It's a problem. It's go for it, CEO. The white boys. Who shut up. Hilarious. That's funny. But who's playing that game right now? I mean, I know we seeing it in society. You know what I'm saying? I know we seeing it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Give me a second. This is a problem. So if we gonna keep using these kids and these kids keep getting used by us and we starting from square one from generation to generation to generation, at some point somebody got to take the blame for that. I got you, kid. Hold up, fam. Yeah, I hear you. Kid, gravity, you on styling over in this joint right now. Oh, I know what is going on. You breaking up into that it's stuttering because of the mic. I hear it stuttering. Okay. Just just mute yourself until it clear up.
Yo, what's up?
What's happening?
Yeah, I like this conversation we're having.
Chime in.
I don't like it that you're right though. I don't like this because you naming them names, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him with this name, and then I'm like, did this person really grow up with two parents? Now, when you say grow up with two parents, does that mean they have to be in the house, or are the people act, or the parents active?
like that's
Because
evolved.
Katie, you were kind of wrong on that because he even admitted that his dad was in his life. He just wasn't in the house.
Like that's a murky one. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying it this way. Because
Like
people
if you're
that
just keeping it, if you're just keeping it on both of them in the house, then yeah, we don't have it. We
no
don't
no
have
no,
to.
it ain't just keeping both of them in the house because you could be
Hmm.
active,
Hmm.
but the relationship is fractured because of bad parenting. So
Right.
so that person ain't even parenting them. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I mean, like
I hear you. No, I hear you. Yeah.
because I know a lot of adults who had an active father in their life, but they was playing games, and then it took them to be an adult to go, you know what? They was there for a lot.
Yeah,
I
because
just
that
was
the best
tripping.
example of that would be 50, because he had both his grandparents and they were on him, but he still did that. He still did that stuff.
See what I'm saying?
And now he's all conservative now that he's an adult.
Interesting. CEO, I'm doing it one-on-one. So I see you back there. I'm gonna get to you in a few. So, okay, how about this?
Hmm.
You said you don't like that I sound right about this. Where can you put a punch a hole in this?
I like I said, my best argument back to you would have been how active was the other parent in their life, how much influence they had. Because I know a lot in our community we don't spotlight that enough. Like even though the parents they don't necessarily gel with each other, but they do enough and they work together to make sure the kids are good. So
But
that's why
see,
I was picking some of those examples. So some of them did have their father in their life, but their parents weren't together, so they still didn't see a stable household. But they still had both parents influencing them. So I know where you say that one was murky.
I mean, it's the same. Like somebody just brought up. Thank God, like Tip just brought up Joe Jackson for hanging in there. Joe Jackson was what 70, 80 years old when them kids finally admitted he wasn't that bad. They
Yeah.
let him be a villain for a good 20 years.
Oh man, come on. We all love that Jackson movie.
I didn't
And
like that movie.
it destroyed that man's career, that man's acting career, because he was so good.
Right, but this is what I mean. Like, think about what that did to. And this is what
The
I mean
perception
using
of the
kids,
black father.
huh?
Probably that movie did not help the perception of the black father.
Not, but even in that family,
Yeah.
they had to
Yeah.
recalibrate what a father was because they went on like I don't want to be nothing like my daddy, and then by the time their daddy was died, my dad always had my back. How
Hmm.
you how you live? How you let that man live a good 40, 50 years by the
Before you
time it's
admitted
over,
that,
huh?
before you admitted that,
Exactly. So they
I think
destroyed this
I
man's
think it was their
legacy.
handlers. I think part of it was their handlers because they wanted to keep
No,
that up.
no, because they mama was they. I think their mother's still alive.
No, yeah, yeah, Catherine's still alive.
So it's a problem.
Yeah. Well, this country loves bringing up the single mom or the mom that's overcoming everything, and I say that in rabbit quotes.
No, I'm not even blaming the country for that one in particular. I'm blaming the guy, all them Jackson children,
Hmm.
all them, all of them at least worth minimum 8 figures talking about their daddy was a problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
You know,
So then, like, I would piggyback off what you said. So then we have to ask the question: if it was just Catherine, would they have been there? Would they have been worth 8 figures?
no, no, because
But
it's
then
not. It's
somebody
not just
somebody
that.
would counter you and say Ray Charles, and somebody would counter you and say Stevie Wonder.
But if I'm not, but Ray Charles' mother died,
Yeah.
and Ray Charles was sent to a school for the
But you
blind. And
saw
I'm
the
sure
movie
Stevie Wonder.
how much of an influence they made her in his life,
Well, I
and
mean,
she's gone.
absolutely. But as a parent, she actually did the best she could under the circumstances.
Hmm.
You know, but because she was able to send him off to school.
Right.
That he needed that. He couldn't. She didn't know how to deal with somebody blind.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get off with you
Yeah,
now,
I
and
want
I'm
to
gonna
get
get
up
to
there.
see you. All
Yeah.
right,
All right. Cool.
you got it. CEO, what's popping? Oh snap!
What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
I see you. I can hear you. Speak up a little louder for me though. Just I'm
Can
trying
you
to see if it.
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. You borg a little bit, but I can hear you.
You saying something wrong with my the transmission? I'm not coming through clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a little bit of that that Borg echo surrounding your voice.
All right,
You
let me try something real quick. Is it bad enough to I need to try something else real quick? Let me try something else real quick.
all right? Try. I got you. I got you.
Can you hear me?
That's great.
That's better.
That's great.
That's
You
what's
good?
up. That's what's up. All right. So all I wanted to say is, and I'm calling in to talk to you specifically because I had some questions. And
Okay.
the main question I got is, let's just say that all throughout the United States, we got people involved in rocket science, we got people involved in IT, we got people involved in so many different fields.
Hmm.
Do we how do we actually know that we're best utilizing, effectively and efficiently utilizing the resources we have to solve the problems that we speak about?
How do we best
like like
results?
like for like for instance, what if I was to say, like I was saying in the chat, maybe it sounds ignorant to a lot of people, but let's just say that I just happen to be in a field that's not familiar with majority of the black population, like IT or computer science or something, right?
Okay.
And my activity, my involvement, my profession in this field has shown me that there's some information out there that's common knowledge amongst other populations, but is absolutely, like out of this world to black people. But the
Hmm.
solution to our problems is so basic. It's almost like, imagine white supremacy looking at black people like, these dumbass niggas don't even know that they could easily fix all their problems if they would just read this book. Like, this shit ain't complicated. They acting like it's complicated, but they could really fix all of the shit that they're complaining about every day if they would just kind of focus on some different sciences, some different subjects, maybe STEM, maybe science, technology, engineering, math. If they would just focus on some different stuff rather than just complaining and socializing and that type of stuff. If they would focus on some more applicable, practicable sciences, man, the problems that they facing should have been over with 10, 20 years ago. They should be on to some more difficult problems. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would
Like,
I would say that's I would say that's BS.
you would say that's BS.
BS.
Man, I'm sorry to
I,
hear
I'm
that, man.
I'm not
Because
I'm not believe that I believe we need to do that. You get what I'm saying?
but
And
check
I
this out.
believe it's already been done.
Let's check this out. It ain't been done because
Yes, it has.
I IT is fairly new. You can't say Malcolm X did
Okay. No, no, no.
IT.
Hold on. IT is new, but
Thank you.
even with IT,
So it ain't been done within our community because it's fairly
wait,
new.
no, but in STEM in general, it's been done.
No, it's not STEM. It's IT.
That's technology.
It is, but you talking about science, technology, and engineering and math. Those are
Right.
basic. I'm talking about computer science. I'm talking about information technology. I'm talking about subjects that are fairly new to black
Right.
people in general. And we are
Like
not,
block
even
like
though
working in
even though these
blockchain.
technologies can be shown to be proven to be changing the entire world right now,
Hmm.
we ain't on this shit.
Right. And
But we sitting around talking about, we know that black people can't do this or black people are failing in this, but we ain't even doing the shit that other populations that they
this
done jumped on, and we still ain't on it.
okay. So here's the weird part about that. So Neil. I always mess it up. Degrassi Tyson.
No, sir, I'm not familiar.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a astronomer.
Okay,
He's like a famous, the only and the only black astronomer basically there is, but he's the
okay,
most famous astronomer in general. Speaking about
right,
space and space theory,
okay,
they asked him, and I remember watching this. This was a few years back. How come there aren't more people like you in these type of fields?
right.
And he says, well, because when I was a child, I hate when this happens. My bad. He says, when I was a child, the teachers discouraged people like me from doing these subjects.
They discouraged me too, but but I'm saying that's another excuse. The fact of the matter is the truth.
That's not an excuse,
Okay.
because here's the thing. And this is why I use the children as a reference. You can get a child to quit something if you're an adult trying to, messing with them all the time. Is that can that happen normally?
I really don't understand that, brother. Say it again.
Do you think that you can get a child to quit doing something by discouraging them on a regular basis?
It depends how you implement that discouragement.
Okay, so if you implement it right, will it discourage them from doing something?
Yeah.
Even something that they like.
Yeah, if you study the child and find out everything that the child wants, desires, even if it's not ideal, but you just find out how the child is, his personality, he want to smoke, he want to play with girls, and you make sure that his behavior.
Whoa, you say he want to smoke?
No, what I'm saying is it doesn't matter positive or negative. If you learn a child, observe them naturally, and find out what they want and the particular mindset as far as how they think they are to go about getting what they want, right? And you realize the way that they're going about getting what they want, it ain't right. What you do is you just like God intervening in the affairs of man, kind of like you make sure that every time that they're doing the wrong things, that they're penalized for it, that they lose for it. But when they do the right thing, they're rewarded for it. And you encourage their behavior along the right path. And they start to learn.
We don't hold on for a second, fam. Do we live in a society where people actually reward, especially black children, for doing the right thing when it comes to education?
I'm not saying they do, but I'm saying like it starts with the household, and I was rewarded for the right behavior and punished for the wrong behavior in my household.
I got you.
So I'm not saying that's what's going on with all households, but I'm saying that that's only under our control. We can't tell nobody else to do it.
But we also can't control who writes down the grade, the A's and B's. We can't control them either.
The A's and I mean, you're right, but the A's and B's don't really. They shouldn't mean I can't explain that part without really talking about it, and I'm not about to waste too much time because this is your show. But I'm just saying that the grades shouldn't matter. It should really be the growth in the spiritual and mental, intellectual growth and development of the child, and that's once again our fault. Why are we not focused on how we raise our child? Why are we saying that the development of our children is based on how they perform within the white man's system? That's
because the IT you're talking about, this whole country system, it doesn't. Asians are in the white man systems. Hispanics are in the white man system. Muslims are in the white man system. The whole that's here regardless. Everybody deals with a white man system in America, but we don't have the same adversity in this system as everybody else.
Let me say this, and you cut me off when you're ready, bro, because I'm not trying to take your show, and I can.
No, I got you. Nobody's in the back chat right now. It's me and you.
Okay, I really want you to hear me. Like I'm asking you as somebody who's an experience in something I'm trying to get into, because I've been focused on the studies and the science. Now I realize that no matter what I know, if I don't figure out a way to market it, if I don't figure out a way to connect with the people, if I don't, okay, so I'm telling you. We can the problem, everything that we're complaining about right now as black people collectively, not just your channel, but I'm talking about collectively. That's just solved easily within 12 months. I can solve it all.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell. Here's my question. Now, it's not really a question. Was Manny Lawson in science?
I don't know Manny Lawson.
Manny Lawson is the man who created the video game console the basics for the single cartridge video game console.
Okay.
He was a black man.
Okay.
We all talk about the black man invented the cell phone.
Yes, sir.
The super chip in the computer.
Yes,
There was
sir.
a brother at IBM who did that.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Ironically, and it's kind of tech, but it's medicine too. The LASIK machine, a black woman invented it.
Can I say something, L.A.R?
Yeah.
All right, let's say this. Let's say you got a person who his whole life has been raised according to white society. Go to school, get a degree, blah, 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 blah. And he goes into IT with that mentality. I'm going to get good grades. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to work for the white man. I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to retire. Now let's go with the mentality of a man who was raised by Black Panthers. He was raised that his whole life is dedicated to his people, that he should be trying to figure out ways to advance his people economically, sociologically, politically. And he goes into that subject. He's going to see different things. And all I'm telling you is that what they saw and what I saw, being the fact that I care more about my people than I care about my life. It's different when you really realize the science and the technology and the education that it provides, and you apply it towards specifically, not for starting a business, not for getting money, not for getting a job at Intel, but for advancing the Black race. The solution is there, bro. I don't know what to do, and I'll talk to you personally, emails or whatever, but I'm telling you, the solution is there. And this is just the beginning of my campaign, but the solution is there.
The crazy part about it is we've had solutions, but the aspect of this was built in. The solution is you're going to need defense. That's been our biggest issue. It hasn't been innovation or ingenuity. It's been defense.
My defense is in my fact that I don't give a fuck about life. I want to get this information and this knowledge out to my people. If not, it's like I'm not even trying to get paid. I want people to stop complaining about shit that's already been solved. They just don't know the solutions are out there.
Okay, here's the thing. You gotta try to get paid if you got that type of information.
No. Listen to me, Law. And I follow you, bro. And you are a mentor to me in this game. Let the next man get paid. I'm here to advance it, so we're not complaining about shit that truly the solutions are already there.
No, I understand where you're coming from in your aspect. See, I grew up in the neighborhood that Fred Hampton grew up in, so I get what you're saying as far as the people part. But what I'm talking to you about is something that's added on to that. It's the fact that if you got something that'll help the people, it's gonna have to make money so you can defend yourselves, because people gonna come for you.
That's why I'm trying to get the information out as quickly as possible, because they're gonna come for me. Just talking right here on this channel. If the people I feel personally being in my field,
they're not gonna come for you from talking on this channel. Because one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna let you. Wait, hold on, fam. Hold on. Just hold on.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm not gonna let you talk in specifics about it, so nobody could specifically target you.
What if I told you from my experience and from my knowledge, being in the field and working with these crackers, man, that when they realize what I know and what I'm saying, that you might not realize the seriousness and the impact of what I'm trying to say, but they do. So I'm putting my life in danger, regardless if you know it or not. I'm putting my life on danger just by telling you the solution is in IT.
Okay, so that would also kind of go with the idea that this is what Black people have been dealing with for a very long time. Where in the solution you need defense, which was what I was trying to say earlier. Because even you talking to me, you need defense. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But let's just say that I'm about to die though. Let's just say that I got cancer and I got a month to live. Okay. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be realistic as a man in his own struggle, in his own life, sitting here knowing what he knows and thinking, God, I ain't got forever and I got this and I want to give it to my people. But let's just say that I got cancer and I got to die in a month. I ain't got time to be playing in social media, build up the likes and the subscriptions. I ain't got time for that shit.
But you do have time for a backup plan.
I'm not about to die with this information, knowing that can advance my people. What do I do?
No, that's okay. You spend half of that month implementing a backup plan, a contingency.
There's no backup plan. I'm in it to die. They're gonna kill me.
No.
As long as I can get it out there first, they can have it.
What's up, George? Okay, they could, but your contingency plan is to, even if you die, it gets out.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean by a backup plan and contingency. Because we're using information on a dead person with no contingency.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
how you do that. You create a backup plan, a plan that if I'm just like people create businesses.
You're my backup plan.
Okay, but if I'm your backup plan, then you have to like, you don't have to, you're not supposed to say that publicly.
I'm telling you, and it sounds stupid, but I have no fear for the cracker, bro.
And
I'm
it
saying
ain't
there's certain things that's been done to my family members, and there's certain things that's been done to me. Like he can have my life.
it's not about but
I'm
see
still
that's
gonna put
okay,
this
hold on.
dagger in your ass, white boy.
Here's
I'm
the
still
thing.
gonna do it. I'm still
Here's
gonna
the
do it.
thing. And this is why part of what I mean by about the kids and the legacy. This sometimes we blind ourselves with not fearing death. Because just because you're not afraid of death does you should plan for life. You could plan for longevity.
I think that
Because,
weakens me, but I hear you, and you're
no,
making sense. But what if you are that actual person that really has that one little piece of information
uh-huh.
that could advance? Like, let's say you're at war,
Right.
and if this person can just get this message to you, it could be the difference between life and death. It could be doing the difference between winning or losing. I don't give a fuck about living, bro. So many
But
lives
that
can be
hold up,
erased.
hold up. That's the thing. If it's a message that needs to be given, you have to be alive to give it. Just like in the military, they have people to intercept the messengers so they don't get messages. That they used to do that. Now this with technologies for you can
They
just
still doing it. NSA doing it right now. They hear what I'm saying.
no. I'm just saying. I'm talking about on the boots on the ground type thing. That's what the comm
Yeah,
link
they
has
on the
started.
ground.
But hold up, Sean, what's happening? Is that right? It's one of these things where you gotta, if you don't plan for both success and a contingency for failure, you won't. You might not succeed. Because what if you succeed and you live? You get what I'm saying? What happens then? Are you stuck right at that moment because you feel it
Then
makes
I
you
then
weak?
I then I keep on advancing what I'm trying, what I'm only iceberging with you right now. Tip of the iceberg. I
Right.
keep on giving you everything I got until the crackers kill me. Because I'm in it to death. I don't have no, I don't have no love for living life as we are living it now. I don't know what you call it, the empath or whatever they call it. I'm on some spiritual shit. I don't feel life like this, bro. We're better than this. We can do better than this. Every time I tune into social media, we complaining about shit that if we would get into some practical, applicable sciences,
This
this
is
shit wouldn't even
okay.
be a problem. I can't
This is
hear it
what
no
I'm
more.
talking about, though.
I
Like
can't hear it no more.
this is what I'm talking about with using kids to destroy the legacy. Because what you're talking about is putting things in practical application so you don't have so in the same rut over and over again.
I'm in the technical field. You can't get paid if all you can do is identify a problem. You have to be able to generate solutions. I'm a
Right.
salute. I got solutions, man. Let's advance this shit. And when we come with the solutions, they gonna come with their shit because they prepared. They got NSA, they got CIA, they got FBI. But I guarantee you, they laughing at the fact that we ain't even moved to we ain't even in line with the times. It's the information age. We don't even understand the information technology
Well, here's the
could
thing about
advance us so
here,
far, bro.
here's the thing about the
We
information
ain't
age.
even in the game.
The information age has a weakness just like everything else. Just because
Why?
it's the
Why look?
information age.
Uh, 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 why look
No,
for why
I'm
why
not.
look for its weaknesses when you have not yet realized its strengths?
No, you look for its weaknesses to use your strengths to exploit them. That's
Exploiting
why.
them is realizing that this shit is upper echelon. We need to move on to this information technology, knowledge age type of shit. And then we still ain't gonna win because they are already set up FBI, CIA, and NSA. But at least we're not gonna be complaining about shit that's Stone Age. The problems that we are talking about are Stone Age. I can solve them in 6 months, and
So
I put my
you
life on it.
so
Somebody
you
put
wait,
me to the
wait.
test.
You believe that you can solve the Family
No,
Guy.
no, no. Belief is like assholes, man.
Okay, fine.
I say
So
knowledge.
you
I'm
can
in an
solve.
IT technical
Hold on.
field. I can't believe I can
Fam,
fix your,
slow
your,
down.
your system. I can't
Slow down.
believe I can build your network. I have to be able to applicably, practically do it. I'm not talking about no beliefs.
Hear
That's some
me.
whole shit. I'm talking
Listen,
about I
you ain't
can
got to
do
be
it.
over talking me, man. We
I'm
having a
sorry, bro.
conversation.
I apologize, and I won't do it again.
The thing is, if you can fix. What you're saying is you have the information to fix what's going on around us.
Yes, sir. No, specifically with black people in
No,
regards to what's going on around us.
right.
Yes, yes, sir.
But do you think that'll fix what's been passed down in us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It includes that. I'm
Okay,
thorough with my.
okay,
I'm
okay.
thorough with my.
I'm gonna
I'm
ask
thorough
you.
with my shit.
Hold on.
Yes,
I,
sir.
like, explain how we'll fix what's going on within us.
I'm not. I'm not going to be foolish enough to give that right now. But if you
I didn't
want
want
me
you to.
to,
Okay.
and listen, listen, listen
No.
to me, listen
Hold
to
on.
me, listen, listen
Hold
to
on.
me, Lord. If you tell me that that's wise, that you want me to give it to you right now, on my mama, bro, on my children, I'll give it to
Here's
you
what I
right
want
now.
you to do.
Tell me you want it right
No.
now. I'll
Listen,
give it to you.
if you, I don't. I like I told you earlier. I didn't want you to be specific about anything. I wanted you to be roundabout, because roundabout can go
How do
roundabout.
I contact you directly,
Okay.
Laura?
Just email me. Just email me.
Can you? Is it where maybe I don't
LAR
have it at
movement.
this moment, but I guess
LAR
I did.
movement. My name.
Hold
You
up.
ain't got to write it down. You don't have to
No, I
write it
got
down. Trust me.
okay,
Trust me.
okay.
It's LAR movement at Gmail. Just the same, without the capital letters and just straight LAR.
All lowercase, all
Yeah,
lowercase.
all lowercase, all together at
Okay,
Gmail.
all
You
right.
know, that's
I'm
all
gonna
it
let you
is.
have. I'm gonna let you have your show back. I'm gonna contact you personally.
All right.
All right, bro. Love.
Peace. Uh, Profit loss margin. What's up, Patrick? Punisher was popping. Where was I at? I done got lost. um, what are we gonna do when it comes to this whole dynamic of, like he was talking about fixing the situation? I ain't got a problem with fixing the situation. I got a problem with, at the end of the day, if we fix it one time, the next generation got to build on that. We can't fix it and party off of what we fixed, and then give it to the next, and then squeeze all the juice out of it and leave the next generation nothing. Because this is what America does. It ain't just us. My bad, fam. You know, until they fix the problem. I got you on that, Mr. Punisher, because we got to fix one of the things I'm talking about is fixing is not using our children as weapons to destroy their future. And this is what keeps going on over and over. To me, that's what I mean by Ram Tough. That's what I'm talking about in a sense. We're not passing down responsibility like we should be. If we pass down responsibility better, because this passing of the torch is like we pass down a torch to burn down a house, and then you build a new house to pass down the torch to burn down that house. That's not going to build anything. This is where we're at with it. We know how society works. I believe we know how society works. I think we just, part of what I'm talking about is we have a major issue in having one generation fix 2 and 3 generations of problems. And that gets in the way of building for the next generation. So I got to fix my parents and my grandparents' issues, and in that, can you balance out to actually build for your children's future? And that becomes an issue. That becomes a major, major issue. So where we gonna go with this? In my opinion, it's not gonna go so until we do that right. It's not gonna go so well. Sometimes we gotta drop and leave the BS that is dysfunctional or time wasting behind. Some of the pain you just gonna have to live with it, drop it, and move forward. You can't just sit in it over and over and over again. Theory, what's happening? Yeah, that's crazy. But I didn't realize I was on here for an hour. I gotta go get something to eat. It's 7 o'clock. That's what I talked about earlier. Selfishness, fam. The selfishness is ridiculous. With selfishness. Man, see, yo, we all good, fam. Don't see, you ain't got nothing to apologize about. It's all love. It's all love. This is where we're at. We gotta, this selfish part of our community is a problem. Because we're passing down selfishness from generation to generation to generation. And when you think about it this way, I'm saying it this way. If you put somebody in a hole because you're being selfish and you want them to dig everybody else out of the hole, and if they get you out of the hole, they become selfish because they did heavy lifting that they weren't supposed to do. We're making our children a mule for our family's generational curses. So of course they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to bring us into if I'm the parent and I bring my child has to save me from my mistakes. Of course, they're going to start from scratch because they don't want their kids to be at my mistakes. But I've wasted so much of them kids' time with my mistakes that they're not as good use to their own, Yeah, man. You ain't got. Yeah, I got you, CEO. I got you. I tell you everything that I know to the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. And this becomes the issue. This keeps growing and growing and growing as an issue. It's a problem. But what I'm gonna do now, because it's an hour, I'm gonna get out of here. For now, like I said, I'm off until the next Monday, so I'm going live every day. We're gonna get it popping. I'm gonna get topics right. We're gonna have these conversations, and we're gonna have a good time. So thank y'all for rocking with me. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace. I hope this thing end the way it's supposed to. I got to double tap all the time with this in broadcast stuff. There you go.